get physical with her and having her arrested when she called the cops. My best friend is a woman I have known since middle school. We have been friends for 40 years. Literally. She and her husband had a child very late in life, like she was 42. The kid is great, and I was the fourth person to ever hold him after his parents and grandmother. I have been in his life since hours after he was born. I am a very large child. I work a fly-in fly-out job, and I make a great living. My kids are grown up and on their own. My wife loves having the kid around and treats him like a grandchild. I like having him around and treat him like a sibling. We play Lego and Nintendo. I've had to relearn everything I forgot about Minecraft. I also am the go-to babysitter when I am on my off weeks. It works out because I have nothing better to do when I'm home. The problem is I am a 6 feet tall, 300-pound Hispanic man who looks exactly like what you would expect an oil field worker to look like. Marcus, not his real name, is an 8-year-old kid with long red hair and green eyes. He is so white that he looks like they raised an albino in a closet. I had him at a park by my house this weekend while his mom and dad had some downtime. He was having fun, and when it was time to go, he was a little jerk and wouldn't come. So I chased him down and threw him over my shoulder while he struggled and giggled. That's when this lady got in my face. She told me to put him down. I didn't want any problems, so I did. She said she had already called the cops and tried to take him away. She grabbed his arm hard. He was calling out to me, so I told her to let him go or we would be having a physical confrontation. All of a sudden, she wasn't so anxious to be a hero. Marcus hid behind me and we waited for the cops. She had her phone out and was recording me. When the cops showed up, they separated the three of us to talk to. I had already called my wife. She was livid. She is a tiny Welsh woman who doesn't take crap from anyone. The cops had already figured everything out when my wife showed up. They were still trying to get hold of Marcus's mom and dad. They were away for the weekend. Anyway, my wife pulled out her phone for the cops and showed them an album she has of me and Marcus for the last 9 years. Then she pointed to the bruise on Marcus's arm where the woman grabbed him. The cops said the lady was just trying to help. I asked them if I had given him the bruise and they had shown up, whether I would also get a pass. They ended up arresting the woman, handcuffs and everything. No clue what happened after that. Now I'm wondering if I could have handled it better. Am I the a-hole for what happened? How could I have done better? Now for the top comments. When I worked retail, we had a big rule: never accuse. We could say, "Are you having fun with your daddy today? You taking good care of grandpa?" If the adult answered, "Didn't give the kids a chance, grab the kid hard," then we might become slightly alert. But if the kid answered, "That's my uncle," or "yes," or anything that indicated they were with that person, we were done. Not the a-hole, and show up for every hearing. Make sure the photos of the bruise are entered into evidence. Nosy old biddy deserves every bit of punishment she can get. This is a pretty smart approach. Don't accuse but verify. There was more chance she was trying to take the kid than OP. Those trying to help small children are gentle and reassuring, not this witch. Pursue it to the fullest. She could have gotten OP hurt and she did harm a child. One of my favorite stories about the small city I live in. A family friend took my baby daughter in her arms to the coffee shop while I parked the car. So she went and ordered coffee, holding my baby. The barista spoke to the baby. "Hi, my daughter's name. Who is that with you?" No accusation, just letting the stranger know that the barista knew the baby and that the barista knew the stranger was not her mom. When I walked in, then everyone relaxed. Not the a-hole. We are living in dangerous times. You are lucky you are a big man. She assaulted you and battered a child. That's a crime. Let her be an example as to consequences for being thoughtless and violent. Next story. Am I the a-hole for giving my friend her baby back before I was supposed to? I, 26 female, am childless, which I think may be relevant here. My close friend Amy, female 27, had her second baby Rick almost 4 months ago, and her first, Ted, about 7 years old, has been having trouble adjusting to his new sibling. She'd been feeling a lot of guilt around this, so I let her know that once she was comfortable, I'd be down to babysit Rick so she could have some one-on-one time with Ted. She knows I have 12 nibblings. I was literally born an ant, so she's comfortable with this. She took me up on the offer on Halloween so she could take Ted trick-or-treating. She asked if I could keep Rick overnight, so she and Ted could take part in some tradition or other. I adore the baby, so of course I said yes. Halloween rolls around. Amy drops Rick off at my apartment around 4 p.m., and everything's fine. After about an hour, Amy FaceTimes me to check on the baby. Another 45 minutes go by. Amy FaceTimes me again. No problem. This baby's really young, so I totally get the anxiety. She continues to FaceTime me every 30 minutes to an hour, even while she takes Ted trick-or-treating. She'd get to a spot with no signal or Wi-Fi, try to call, the call would drop, and she'd call back-to-back until FaceTime stopped dropping the call. At some point, they finish up trick-or-treating and go to do their Halloween tradition. Whatever it is, it runs late. She's still wide awake and FaceTiming at around 10 p.m. when I'm getting ready for bed. I ask her if she just wants me to bring Rick home. She insists that she doesn't want that. I let her know that both Rick and I are about to be asleep. I definitely start getting a little a-holy here. Maybe this would be a good time to finally focus on Ted. She continues to FaceTime every 30 minutes to an hour. I answer or call her back every time. The last few calls, I try to break it to her gently that she's keeping both me and Rick awake, and he's already not a great sleeper, so it's getting a little rough settling him back down after her calls wake him up. She does not care. I finally get fed up at some point. Amy's clearly tired. Rick can't sleep because his mom won't stop calling. I won't put my phone on silent while I'm babysitting someone's newborn, for obvious reasons, and I'm irritated. After we hang up the last time, I pack up Rick and his things and I take him home. She's genuinely upset with me. I thought I was doing the right thing because she was clearly struggling with being away from the baby. Ted was asleep by the time I dropped Rick back off, so it's not like I disturbed their time. I don't have kids. Maybe that's why I can't gauge the issue, but someone please let me know if I was an a-hole for bringing the baby back home. You did the only thing that made sense. Your friend isn't ready to be away from her baby and wasn't letting you or the baby sleep. Not the a-hole. She continues to FaceTime every 30 minutes to an hour. This reminds me of when my wife just gave birth. The baby needed to feed many times during the night, so she couldn't sleep well. Days later, she suggested that I take the baby to another room for a night so she could get proper rest. But just like OP's friend, she came to check on the baby several times throughout the night, ended up resting even worse than before, and finally around 2 to 3 a.m., she took the baby back anyway. Not the a-hole. This story had me fully irritated. Agree, I'm a parent, and it irritated me. I would have done the same thing. Mom clearly wasn't ready to be away from the baby. Ted got shortchanged because Mom was hyper-focused on the baby, even during their one-on-one time. You might as well take the baby home, because no one, including Mom, was going to get any sleep if she called every 30 minutes all night. Seriously, as a mom of 3 who just had her third in January, she's such a lucky person to have a friend like you. My husband and I are orphans, and the only people we have who are that close to our kids are a step-grandma who doesn't babysit and my sister who has a disability. I'd do anything for just one night of undisturbed focus on my older kids and a night's rest. That woman is ruining any future offers of babysitting, and my jealous green-eyed monster wants to go shake her silly. People who have copious amounts of helpers for their children don't understand that the struggle is very real when you're pretty much on your own. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling the other woman her dead parents would have been proud of her? I broke up with my long-term ex 4 years ago and I'm happily married. Haven't seen my ex or the mistress since then. For context, my ex cheated with his friend's girlfriend at the time. My ex and her both said how pathetic the guy was, despite being the people who cheated. The mistress continuously posted photos of them together straight after our breakup, not caring how that impacted myself and the other betrayed partner at the time. Anyway, both not great people. I don't think about them much, but I still think they're both horrible people. I bumped into her in the city, rolled my eyes and said, "Disgusting." She then said, "What did you say to me?" To which I said your parents would definitely be very, very proud of you, then proceeded to walk away. She looked shocked and angry, like she was about to cry. I told my friends this, to which one of them said I went too far, as I know her dad passed away years ago. To me, it wasn't really an a-hole move since that statement is technically positive. It's only offensive if you don't think your parents would be proud of you. Am I the a-hole? Edit. I haven't thought about them all for a very long time. Currently, admittedly, I don't feel bad, even though it may be a petty move. Currently enjoying a cup of coffee, reading comments with my sisters. So basically, this woman had no problem cheating with someone's partner, most likely making the other woman cry when she learns of the infidelity. But making her cry with a statement about her behavior is over the line? Yeah, not the a-hole. It's so freaking annoying when people act like calling out bad behavior is, somehow, itself bad behavior. Hit her where it hurts. Gotta say, not many parents would be proud of a profound lack of morals. Lol, not the a-hole. She knows it's true and it stings. If she was a better person, she would have been happy to hear that. If a good person with dead parents heard, your parents would have been proud, they would be happy to hear that. Only people who know they're bad would take offense at that. Not the a-hole. Her parents, if they were decent people, would be ashamed, dead or not. Edit 2. My friend saw this post and apologized. She mentioned it was a sore topic for her because one of her parents is very ill at the moment. She thought about it, and she wouldn't do anything that would disappoint them, and said my actions were justified. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that my living mom is more important than her dead dad? Got married in February 2022. Together since 2019, 32 male and 33 female. Her dad died a decade ago. Her family has a tradition of visiting the graves of loved ones on their death anniversary. I've been following and respecting this tradition since marriage. My mom lives nearby. Currently, mom has got fever and she's alone, as my dad has gone out on a long trip and it's not possible for him to come within 3 to 4 days as he's far away. Mom was fine when dad left for the travel, so don't target my dad. As she's 60 plus with old age weaknesses, I don't want to take any chances. So I've decided to bring her to my house while proposing wife to get to her dad's grave without me. The thing is, it takes about 2 days to return after her dad's grave visit. But wife is not understanding and saying that it's a mild fever, my mom will be fine and I should go. But I'm being firm. Mom is a senior citizen and dad is not here as well. I'm a single child, so I told her that I won't be coming, and it's my final decision. Doesn't matter if she tries asking 100 times. Wife got miffed and said that it's her dad's day, and my mom's fever is nothing significant in comparison. I don't remember her exact words, but she said almost similar like this. I was too fed up at this point, and told her that my living mom is more important than her dead dad. She's super angry and left alone. Not calling or texting or anything. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Living come before the dead. Take care of your mom. Also, if her dad died a decade ago, then OP never met him, so there is no respects to pay. And yes, people die and life goes on. Take care of your mom. But I am going to have a convo with my boss about my 60-plus-year-old old age weakness. Actually, my country's life expectancy isn't much, just 69 years, so people get pretty old after crossing 60 here. Last story. Am I the a-hole for quitting my chore of cooking 2 nights a week because my little sister keeps ruining it, and my parents expect me to start over every time? I'm 16 male, the oldest of 4. I have 2 brothers, 13 and 11, and a little sister, 8 female. My 11-year-old brother has ASD. He goes to therapy twice a week until late, and my parents have always struggled to cook on those nights. We used to do takeout. Then, last year, my parents asked if I'd cook 2 nights a week, and they offered to remove one of my chores in exchange. I was like, yeah, because at the time I really didn't mind. A few months ago, my little sister started acting out and being difficult about a lot of stuff. She wants to stay up late and throws tantrums over not getting new toys or what she wants. The other thing is she hates not getting to choose what we have for dinner, and she started throwing her dinner on the floor. When I cook, she started to knock stuff onto the floor while I'm cooking or prepping. Or she'll spit in it a bunch to make me throw it out. Or she'll dump ketchup or mayo in it. And it's always when I have stuff almost done or when I've been making dinner for a while already. I've stopped her a few times, but she'll try over and over again until she can win. Or she'll start spitting and aiming for dinner. My parents never say anything to her, and they expect me to start over when she messes with it. They got mad at me a couple of times when I refused to start over, when I was trying to serve dinner and my sister spoiled it. My sister doesn't listen to me either. She'll scream at me that I can't stop her, and it's so frustrating. I've spoken to my parents so many times, and they told me to keep calm and redo things when I need to. But I reached a point where I couldn't do it anymore because I wanted to kick her out of the house when she was acting like that. And I know I can't. She's only 8. But man, is it frustrating. And she's so bratty about it. So I quit cooking twice a week and started doing my old chore again instead. My parents told me I don't get to just quit, and they're fighting with me because they think cooking is more important and that I'm quitting too easily. They said we need to eat, and I was doing something really good for our family, and I'm old enough to realize the impact. Am I the a-hole? She is way too old to act like that. Your parents really need to step up and provide consequences for that behavior. Tell them you'll resume cooking when her behavior is corrected. Sounds like the sister is in need of some psychological therapy. Not the a-hole. Next time, serve it. And tell them if they would like a better dinner, then maybe they should do something about their daughter. Not sure I want to go that route in case they tried to make us all eat it. But even just saving enough for them, so they can decide if they want to eat her spit, or a super salty or whatever else dish she ruined. Then make 3 sandwiches for you and your brothers. Parents and sister get the meal she ruined. They can't force you to eat anything. If your sister has contaminated the food, tell them so they don't eat it. And if she ends up poisoning it, obviously never serve it. If your parents are unwilling to help, the only thing I can think of is to distract your sister. Get her to help and do small tasks. She won't do small tasks for me. In her own words, she doesn't have to listen to me or do what I say because I'm only her brother. If cooking is more important, why aren't they dealing with the cooking saboteur? Not the a-hole. That's what I wanted to know, but they just act stressed and tell me I need to get dinner on the table.